Good afternoon, Mr. Robert Lee. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, anytime I'm on the show with you, it's always a good day, James. How are you doing?
Dude, you know what? I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that on a
Okay.
t-shirt and I'm going to try to sell it somewhere because if I can get you to say that like for every day for like a year, I'll probably be able to afford my hosting bill. No.
It's gonna be like a long T-shirt with that long texture, but if you can do
Yes,
it,
sir. Yes, sir. Verbose Perspectives. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another month, a week early. We had to re-squizzle some things for our guest, our very special guest. So you know what? For her, we decided to just change up everything. I even got real clothes on. So let me tell you something. I got pants, a real dress shirt. I even, tried to clean up a little bit to look somewhat presentable on camera. So that shows how special this person is. That shows how important this conversation is. But, in all seriousness, it's because we have respect for the conversation, for the person that we're going to bring on, for the message that we're going to have. Give me your thoughts before we bring our guest on, Robert. You ready for the conversation today?
yeah, I think just because of the person to bring on, I think it's just a matter of working out the butterflies and just like keeping it real, as you say, in terms of just talking with Grace. So it should be a fun conversation, and hopefully I don't geek out with the types of questions and the types of topics that we talk about. So how's that go? How's that for you?
That's pretty good. So you mentioned something, and I just fired up the chat overlay. We are explicitly using Restream and all of the technology and all the functionality of that platform. So I've just fired up the chat overlay, and that's working. LinkedIn Live is working. So I'm ecstatic right now. I should go play the lotto because we were talking about this behind in the blue room here about some connectivity concerns in the past, but everything seems to be working now. So I am happy. I see folks coming into the chat. So let me let you do the introduction of our guest, and then I'll bring her on.
All righty, here we go. Or is it Jackie Gleason says that, and away we go? I'll work on that. Okay, so James and I are really excited for our guest for today is Grace Duffy. A little bit about Grace is that she's a Dallas-based digital strategist and web content creator with a passion for connecting people through technology, be it to a goal, a solution, an idea, or simply with one another. She offers a wealth of experience in creating online content and tracking social media marketing trends. Currently the virtual event manager at Restream.io. Grace oversees their phenomenal lineup of hosts and influencers in the live streaming industry who host weekly and bi-weekly shows on all of Restream's social platforms, like Facebook and YouTube. Along with her managerial duties, she is also the producer and co-host of the Social Media News Live, a weekly live show and podcast conversation with industry experts, innovators, creators, and storytellers about the latest social media updates. Grace is also passionate about collaboration, transparency, and a customer service approach to business. We are thrilled and honored to have Grace on Verbose Perspective.
Brother, hold on one second. Before I bring her on, all right, take a breath. Because you read that very well and verbatim.
I know. It's just like it's one of those things. I know. Like it's funny because we always like to have people like not look to the script or anything like that. But I think because there's like a lot of stuff ahead, I'm like, all right, I got to make sure I got everything in there. But it's like
I'm gonna stop without giving you a hard time.
Grace. Hi everyone. Hi.
Hey Grace.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm all nervous for being here. Thank you. I'm really glad that I updated my LinkedIn profile. that was I have to tell you.
Is that me? Is that really me?
Well, I started at Restream in January, so that's still my job getting profile, not my job having profile. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. You never after this interview, I might need it. So we don't know where this is gonna go. So I might be gotta keep that LinkedIn up to date, guys. Keep it up to date.
That's true. And since the fact that it fired off like it was supposed to, I'm not gonna talk too much trash about him right now. But I will in a minute. Once we get into the topic flow. But Grace, let's get into it. Let's get focused here. I'd like to hear kind of your elevator pitch about yourself. Yeah, we read the bio, the official thing, but tell us who you are, right? Just if we were again on an elevator, give us that 30-second of who you are and what it is that you do, what it is you like to do.
Well, that bio is succinct, or not very succinct, I guess. And it's just like, but that is me. I mean, I love connecting people. I am, I'm like input gatherer, information gatherer, but I also like sharing information, which is why I'm so driven by online content, doing online video. And I think this is just the best way to connect. In the last 4 months since I've been working at Restream, I have been unable to talk about myself without going into a sales pitch. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, we won't just talk about sales. We will talk about, I want to get into a different conversation, different than what you typically talk about on a daily basis. I know you host and produce shows every day talking about multi-streaming, live casting, social media, and things of that nature. Robert, I'm going to let you go first kind of with the question, and I'll interject like I typically always do, because, I'm the guy that ad-libs and throws people off with curveballs. And a lot of folks that are in the stream watching and typing into the comments, they know that. So they're just waiting, right? They're waiting for James to come through with a rant about something. But I will be good today. And I'll be, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I'm still waiting for the hanging curveball, split ball, but I got to work everything in the batter's box. But I guess just the follow up with James. I think one of the things I'm curious to hear about is just what are the trends, or what are the things that you're seeing in the live streaming community as to like what people have challenges with the live streaming. Do you feel that there's more of a need in terms of addressing technical challenges? Or like what this say in front of I was going to say in front of the camera or in front of the monitor, or even taking a step further as to how the best way to extend their reach to their audience or to other people that may not have reached before. So what are the things that you're seeing, Grace?
As far as live streaming go, well, is it safe to say all of the above?
Sure.
Yeah.
It is all of the above. But let's take a step back. You asked about live video trends, and I mean, I've been in this industry for a long time. I've been in social media marketing since before it was social media marketing. It was called new media. I worked at a traditional ad agency, and it was called new media at the time, right? And there was no social media. It was Yahoo 360 pages and MySpace, right?
You are definitely flashing back there.
I am flashing some
Next thing you know, you're going to talk about GeoCities and
AOL,
right?
Yeah, okay. It was listservs and like affiliate marketing. It was affiliate marketing still happening, right? But so I've been in the industry for a long time, and ever since 2016 was when Facebook Live first debuted, right? And that was the year everyone was like, it is the year of live video. And then 2017, it's the year of live video, right? People trying to write keynotes at conferences in 2019 were like, it's the year. But let's all agree that 2020 certainly deserves the crown of the year of live video, right? That's when, like, we've all, whether we wanted to or not, we all had to shift. I mean, everything from like school to work to everything has shifted online. My book club and my fake book club where we really just drink wine and pretend to talk about books, and then the actual book club where we talk about books, right? So church is online, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and I think what we're seeing now is like live video has become democratized and more normal. Like people used to be like, oh, go live. I don't know what that's all about. But, a few months ago, I was in Target of all places. Right. And at the end cap was this whole like live video, like display. So I found an Elgato key light. There was like microphones. There was a Stream Deck. Right?
At Target?
At Target, right? And it was all like merchandise because it was like you could buy. And I mean, I remember back when like you could probably get a webcam in Target, right? And they had like the DSLR set up too because people are using that instead of. But like I remember there'd be a webcam that you find it. But now it's become like you can do this. Anyone can do this, right? And so what we're seeing now is just a flood of live video. And I think the major challenge now is to set yourself apart, right? Because with tools like Restream, I mean, I've got this microphone here, I've got the camera, I've got my lights, right? And it took me a time to add this up, but it really wasn't that hard to find I mean, it was all at Target. And it probably would have been at Walmart too, except it was sold out. So.
Well, won't be in Radio Shack, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
You definitely can flash it back there.
Oh my God. I went to Best Buy. I don't know why I was in there. Oh, maybe I was buying a microwave. I don't remember. But anyway, they had a whole like gaming setup. Like, you want to be a Twitch gamer? And like, well, I have a teenage son, and I was just like, oh yeah. I was like showing him all this stuff. And he goes like, what? And I said, yeah, I do this for a living. He goes like, you do this for a living? And I was like, yeah. Well, yeah. And then, like we use gamers use your platform for this. And suddenly I was like, my stock went up that day with my teenager.
That's too cool.
But at the same time, like, I think because everyone is on it, everyone is used to it. The bar, I don't want to say the barrier has come down where people aren't as afraid of it. It's accessible, it's real. And so the big challenge is really setting yourself apart.
That's true. I laugh at what you said about at the beginning when you say back in the day it was called New Media. So again, my agency is called Hicks New Media.
Yeah.
And started in 2009. And again, it was really looking at all aspects of providing information. So to inform, entertain, and enlighten are kind of the mantras of what I'm working to do. And I think, building societies and building communities, things like that. Live streaming has just become another phenomenal tool to reach communities and to have those discussions and sometimes have those awkward conversations, right? Because I've done a lot of streams about things that are going on from a societal perspective, right? So be they whatever the case may be, political, racial injustice, and things of that nature. So we've had those conversations, but by having this live stream video forum, it's allowed folks to voice their opinion. They can either come on camera and be face to face, or they can be in the comments. And a lot of times folks don't want to get on camera. They'd rather stay behind and just leave comments. But again, we're having that dialogue, and we probably wouldn't have had that as effectively prior to the pandemic, right? So if there's any, I don't know, if there's any silver lining to this whole thing of the world stopping for a year, it's the fact that many of us have actually reconnected to what it is that drives us from a passion perspective. And we found tools, we found platforms, we found avenues to actually reach an audience. Restream has been one of those tools. I'm saying that myself and Robert have used, be able to go out to different platforms. Look, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn right now. I'm going to pull this video and audio down, going to turn it into a podcast in a couple of hours. So allowing us to share these types of messages and have a conversation for folks that aren't joining us right now at 4:30 Pacific time in the afternoon, still having a dialogue. So I think, again, that's very beneficial. That's very valuable. And you're kind of in the middle of that, just like you said, right? You walk into Best Buy and you tell them I work for Restream. Yeah, you're cool with all the teenagers now. You're what's happening because you're help proliferating that. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's interesting. Absolutely. That's it. Outside of that, though, let me ask you, how has just the whole aspect of live streaming become valuable to marketing one's personal interests? So I don't want to say personal brand, but I want to see one's personal interest and then also kind of one's professional business. How do you see that live streaming has helped with some of those activities?
Absolutely. Well, at Restream, we talk about how the many ways that you can use live video, right? So there's what you and I are doing right now, or the three of us are doing right now, which is a live show, a live interview. This is an easy concept. It's something that we're all comfortable doing, right? But there's a lot of different things that you can do with live video to help grow your business, to help grow your brand. And so we actually have a show on Wednesdays at Restream called Livestream with Restream. And it is our live product demo, right? We do a demo of the product. We answer, we talk about some use case. So I'm in marketing. I'm in the marketing department. So this week we talked about how you can use Restream to fully brand your streams, right? And to have this professional broadcast. And it's just as easy as clicking some buttons behind the scenes. We also, the week before, we were talking about how to use a DSLR to come up to have like a really sharp image in your stream, right? And improve all that. And then, we have another coworker that talks about, he comes from gaming. So he talks about like that integration with like OBS and having those really cool backgrounds and stuff I don't know much about, but he does. And it's absolutely fantastic. So this is a cross team project, right? So it's marketing and support, and it allows us to speak directly to our customers. It allows our product development team to find out what questions are people asking, what struggles are they having using our tool, and what are the things they just keep asking over and over again. So it is a valuable project for the entire company. And then we have our support team come in and they answer questions. We link to our blog and, and then we offer like a discount or a giveaway during it as a thank you for joining us. It's 45 minute show. It takes maybe an hour of prep beforehand of just like deciding what we're going to talk about. But it's what I do all day, right? So I talk about the product and the support team. We have 24/7 support at Restream, live human support. And so it's a member of that team that is helping people troubleshoot on a one-to-one basis. And now they're troubleshooting on a one-to-many basis. So that's one way that we at our company use it to promote our own product. There's another agency, what are they called? Hey Digital. So I think they're based in Estonia.
Okay.
So it's a SaaS marketing company. It's an agency. They do pay-per-click, social media management, digital marketing. And so the founder, Dylan Hay, has a show called the SaaS Marketing Show. And he uses that as an opportunity to draw in potential clients, right? So they will invite these people to come talk to them, and they will basically workshop a real SaaS marketing problem that they are having. Right. And right there on camera, they will troubleshoot, like, this is what's going on, provide their suggestions, talk about how this would work, how that would work. And that's a way that they generate leads for their business.
Okay.
Another use case we talk about too is there's a photographer. His name is Tommy Reynolds. He's based in the UK. He was a commercial photographer. Everything shut down for him over the past year. Right. So people weren't doing commercial photo shoots. So then he switched his business using Restream to do a behind the scenes setup, right? So he would talk about how he set up for shoots, what kind of lighting he uses, what kind of what kind of set they use, right? How do they work with makeup artists? And then there's opportunities there for collaboration, but it's also become a way for him to continue to grow his business, even though he's not shooting clients, even though he's not doing commercial shoots, because people then get to know, what do you expect when you do a commercial shoot? What do you expect when you ask him to do a headshot? What do you expect when you go into the studio? Because a lot of people don't know what to expect, right? And this is just a way that he's able to talk about what he does and share his knowledge. And so those are just 3 use cases that we talk about. I also use Restream as my office. So, right now we're going live, but you can actually use this to not go live. Right. And you still with the same link, and we would still get all the opportunities to record, to talk to each other. And, so when you're pitching clients or you're, interviewing people or just doing your day-to-day job, you can have a fully branded office, right? Instead of just like, meet me in the Zoom, right? Like everyone looks the same in Zoom, right? So it's a way. Oh, and there, we also have an integration.
You can't do this in Zoom, right? I mean, you can figure it out with some other tools, but we can't do some cool stuff like this in Zoom. That's good.
And one of the tools we actually introduced was like, you're able to pull Restream into Zoom, so you can still fully brand your Zoom and then also distribute your Zoom onto Facebook and YouTube. So there's a lot of opportunities. I think we could use live video for webinars and trainings, and then I talk a lot about what you can do with your live video after the video is done. And you hinted at one of them, your podcast. So
I see some of these are softball setup questions, right?
Yeah.
Again, because I was watching your show yesterday, so I knew I threw that out there. I was waiting for you to hit, and you hit it right out of the park. So
I told you this is what I do. You can't ask me what I do all day.
I know, it's almost like you know what you're doing, like you've been around the block a few times, right? Robert, what you got, brother? What you got?
No, I mean, to your point, I mean, the great thing about in a live stream platform is you get not so much like the instant gratification, but definitely get the real time response. So like if you're like the example you used with the photographer, to be able to do the demonstration, if a potential client or audience member may not know what's going on, they can like ask questions and they get the feedback and get a good sense of the room, so that if he's trying out different content or just trying to get a sense of what the what people are looking for, that instant response as well as instant engagement. I mean, right. I would think that that's something that you must enjoy with your streams, to be able to communicate with the audience like that.
Oh, definitely. And they are our customers. And like, there's no silly questions, right? Because like every question is like, why don't we explain that better? Right. What we should do that. We end up making a tutorial video. I don't think we do a live stream with Restream without some sort of like follow up of like, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need this. And of course with us using the product as well, because not only do I work there, I'm also a customer, right? So I'm probably the most complainiest customer of like, when is this coming?
We can go down that path too. Now I got some smoke I want to throw at you. Look, okay. Let me tell you something. Okay. This may be that rant, but I got a couple of things I'm gonna hold off though. But I'm gonna be civil. But I got some smoke I'm gonna throw at you in a minute, right along those lines. But let me ask you this, because I think that's amazing. All right, live streaming is great right now, and I think it's still in its infancy. We're finding some folks that are definitely rising kind of above the crowd and becoming more the educators and the teachers and kind of the ones that a lot of folks are leaning towards for guidance, but. Overall, as an industry, where do you see live streaming, multicasting going from a short, mid, and long-term perspective? Who knows what long-term is, right? That could be 1 year, that could be 5 years, that could be 6 months. But where do you see this evolution going in terms of people taking advantage of this type of technology, though?
I think it's just going to keep growing. And I know that's kind of like duh, of course I'd say that, right? I work for this company, but I do think
it better be, right?
It better keep coming. I've got some bills.
Mama Duffy got some expenses, so it better keep growing.
I got some kids I'm pressuring to go to college. So like, it's going to better go for a while. So, I think we're going to see a lot more, like I was saying, you need to find a way to stand out. And I think you're going to see a lot more micro content, right? So this format that we're doing right now is amazing. And it's a really easy way to connect. I mean, right from the get-go, as soon as we started tonight, like it was already fun, right? We've already shared some stories. We've already had a lot of fun. So, but an hour-long show, 45-minute show, like, the shows that I usually run, like, that's a big investment to ask of someone, right? Like, that's a big investment. And so, you have to find ways to draw people in and, give them a return on that investment. Let them know what are they going to get if they're watching you, right? And so to do that, we talk a lot about creating micro content, right? Whether that is like stories or TikToks or audiograms for Instagram stories or something. But it's just like, it's bringing in all of that. You create this piece of content and then what are you going to do with it, right? And then I think it's just, people are constantly going to find, like, they're going to look for that sense of community, which is something that we can offer. But then once you've created that community, where are you taking them? Where are you leading them? What are we doing? What is connecting them? What is keeping them together? And ultimately, I think that's what we're going to see this long term, is people are going to start asking those questions of like, why live streaming? Why am I watching this show? Why do I care what they have to say? Right. And with everyone else on camera, it's just like, there's got to be 50 lives and 50 clubhouse things and 50 stories. And, like people are going to want those, and each of those are valid. Each of those is a level of connection, but each point you have to be delivering on that delivering on that promise. Whatever it is that you're offering them, you have to continue delivering. And I think that's what's going to happen to the industry, is people are going to have to start setting themselves apart. And you're going to find the people that are like, okay, this isn't for me, or to the people where they're just going to rise with it, or it's going to become a new thing, right? Or it'll launch them into something different. As someone whose career has launched her into every new thing by happenstance, and I think we're just going to see a whole new brand of level of people, right? So, we were talking about Clubhouse before we went live today, and I think it was Jeremiah. What's his name? Web strategist Jeremiah. He's there in the Bay Area with you. Yang, right? Yeah. Anyway, he talked about like all the cottage industries that are now propping up because of social audio, right? Mm-hmm. So. Everything from like room hosts and brand managers for social audio. You're going to see
new job titles, right? That we're going to start seeing, right? That's crazy, yeah.
Or like remote live producer, right? So that's something that like what's a producer? What's a remote live producer? Guess what? I found out the other day, that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Well, digital strategist sounds
Digital
fancy.
strategist.
Sounds good. Literally, we all do that. Content
Yeah.
creators. That encompasses, I think, everything. But again, that really encompasses what we do, and that now we're starting to see folks put that on their resumes, on their LinkedIn profiles, or on the roles that they're looking to fulfill and they're looking to provide to folks. So yeah, I mean, that's completely interesting in terms of how the whole dynamic has shifted, again, very shortly within this last 12, 14 months or so.
Ultimately, you're going to end up with a bunch of people that get to choose whatever they want to do, right? Like, write your job description. What do you dream of doing, right? I want to do live video for the rest of my life. Done. Here's my job. Here's some benefits, right?
Yeah. And that's crazy. Go ahead, Robert. I was going to say, but that's crazy because I heard a story on CNBC earlier today, and literally more and more folks, not just millennials, not just the young kids, not just the folks that are in high school or college right now, but I heard a story that actually more women are seeing this time and saying, you know what, I want to break off and do my thing. Yeah. I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm ready to branch out and do my own thing. I can now call my own shots. Yeah. And there's definitely been an uptick really within this whole pandemic timeframe of more female entrepreneurs, content creators, brand strategists, whatever you want to call them, X, Y, and Z. But that has definitely happened over this past period of time. And I think it's just interesting to see. I think it's a great thing, to be honest with you. I think it's fantastic.
I mean, if you're into it, there's someone into it too, right? And they're going to be into it with you, whatever it may be.
I forgot we're streaming on Twitch too. And look at that, we got a little troll there coming. You got to love the troll. Yeah, I'm streaming on Twitch too. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
No worries. I was to your point. I mean, I think with the pivot everyone's made to the new environment, it does open up a lot of opportunities. I mean, take it to the extreme with video production, where before a lot of work was lost because most of the work was done on site, and now because people are working remotely, there's now the added need of like remote video production. So to your point, Grace, there's a lot of people like saying need of either remote producers to people offering remote video production to even like the support, whether it's the moderators or just people working behind the scenes. It's just it's just amazing. My concern has always been is that once there's such a new need, if the infrastructure and support is there, the meet the demand. And so because like I know, like you mentioned before about the micro content to create. Do you perceive like new challenges in terms of meeting with let me see if I have the right word, not adaptability, but the to be able to work with other I don't know if it's providers word, but other elements for Restream. I guess compatibility would be the word for other folks to be able to take advantage of either Restream or a platform to be able to produce live content. I'll give you an example. Like, for example, like with, I have this device called Pivo where it'll allow you to do, it'll allow you to do videos where you can do it on your own, where it just pretty much kind of follows where you're moving. And it has the ability to stream through, they do it through Restream. And what was interesting is that you had to like go out of the program to get into the browser, to go into Restream, to be able to stream the content, to be able to take advantage of the platform. And it led me to wonder that if others are offering a similar type of service, is whether they're able to have the infrastructure to keep up to support that type of either offering or service, or just being able to meet the demand. Let's see.
Yes, all of the above.
Okay.
I think that so at Restream we do integrate with a lot of tools. We have the RTMP poll and then the push, right? So we do integrate with a lot of tools. That's where the plus comes from with the 30 plus, right? So Zoom, vMix, OBS, all that. Ecamm is what we use on the social media news live show to do all the graphics that make it look like a news show. And then Restream is the tool that gets it out there, right? So we're multi-streaming service that puts it out there. And I think that there's always going to be room for innovation. There's always going to be room for, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's room at the table for all of us. And if there's some new thing that you have that you can do, someone's going to figure out a way to work on it together. Right.
Right.
So, at Restream, we really like our big focus last couple weeks and last couple months that I've been there is to really continue to innovate. Right. And so we've got a lot of great updates. And so a lot of it is really focused on the high video and high audio quality. So, the ability to download save a recording of this video, right, of this live video, and then download the audio. And then we recently introduced the split track, right? So now, like each of us, you can download each of our tracks and like edit it out or edit it sounds or whatever, and then we also have the ability to control the sound. So on your end, you can control the audio. So if I'm really loud and you're really quiet, we could definitely control that. And so, and then, we also, we introduced the RTPM. So RTMP source.
RTMP.
Yep. Which allows you
say
to
that 3 times after you've had 4 scotches.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's going to be a different show. That's Verbose Perspectives After Dark, which sounds dirty. That sounds dirty.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. So, then you showed the chat overlay. So I think, we're constantly innovating, and I'm not going to say that there isn't going to be opportunities to integrate all of this different technology. And I think the industry is going to keep growing. And the more things that we're able to, the more things we're going to continue to need, the more people are going to innovate. So I hope that answered your question.
Oh no, it's that's why we call it a verbose perspective, just because there's maybe
we get into it
and get a little bit long-winded with the question.
I don't like this overlay because I'm too clean and no one wants to see my face. Hold on. If
my head's like a pumpkin, so it's kind of like
I don't like that. I'm surprised that Keely or someone didn't say, James, get off the camera, because she's in there. But so let me ask you about, because you touched on some things that I want to go back to that should not be overlooked, and I'm gonna go in order so they don't fall out of my head. The updates that you've made on Restream, specifically talking about, again, the multiple audio tracks. I don't understand. I don't know if people really understand how valuable that is. Right. Yeah. Just from a post-processing perspective, right? I can pull Robert out and I can change his audio levels on the back end. I can just cut you out, Grace, and make some micro content, like we were saying, like make an audiogram or something with just your voice as opposed to everyone else's. Having that capability in the back end, and you're handling all of the storage, right? I don't have to download that to my Rodecaster, or I don't have to download that to my Mac Mini and take up my storage capacity. I think you hold it for 15 days or something like that, right? Whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's 15 days for the pro account, and then I think it's 30 days for premium and business and all the way up. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm rocking premium. I'm rocking.
Yeah. You got lots of Facebook groups and YouTube channels, right?
So I'm gonna get into that, and I'm gonna tell you why I went to premium. But so I wanted to touch on that because I want folks to understand that Restream is actually doing something very similar to what I told you that Apple does, and what I said on the show yesterday. Right, Apple will give you things that you don't think you need before you actually need them. So take advantage of that capability of being able to download the audio, download the video, and download those individual tracks.
Yeah.
You made another statement about there's room in this industry for everyone.
Yeah.
Look, it's the elephant in the room here. We all know about Restream. We all know about StreamYard. We all know about, we use Ecamm, we use vMix, we use all of these different platforms. And a lot of times we use them interchangeably.
Right.
There is enough food out there for everyone to eat.
Yep.
Miss Diana Gladney, who said that one time, and I want to give her that shout out. And I want to give her flowers because, I heard that statement from her. There is enough food out here for everyone to eat. So don't get caught up on the individual tool. Utilize these tools to your benefit to reach your community and spread your message. I don't care what kind of camera you got. I don't care what kind of microphone you got. I don't care if you use StreamYard I don't care. StreamYard versus Restream versus OBS versus all these other things. All right, just press record, turn the lights on, and do your thing. That's the most important thing. The content is the most important thing.
I think it's the connection. They're right here, you and I.
I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right at you.
Right at you, right? So you're the.
I'm working on it.
Look this way, Barbara. Look this way, please. And then I guess I want to talk about the capabilities that you're offering again through Restream. Like I say, I've got premium, and the reason that I upgraded to premium was for one particular item in the checklist, and that was the streaming amplifier.
Yep.
Right. The ability to, let me make sure I read this right, helps to stream reliably and eliminate poor quality and frame drops caused by streaming to distant platforms outside of your region. Mm-hmm. The reason that I upgraded that is a co-host of mine on another show. He utilizes, very similar to Robert, utilizes vMix in the back end. We push through Restream. A lot of times we've had issues, and again, I don't know where the issue lies, but frames would drop. The stream would drop. There'd be some inconsistencies in that. When I upgraded to premium, a handful of those issues disappear. We're still having some other things just based on internet connections or whatever the case may be. But again, just you offering those features and functions to your customers shows that you're at least listening, and it's not just lip service. So I wanted to give that. I wanted to give you your props on that just by having those capabilities within the platform.
Absolutely. And if you ever run into any problems, there's a little smiley face chat button at the bottom and that connects you to a live human being. We have customer service people right now. All over. Yeah, there's someone there all over. They're all over the world, right? I'm gonna
go off camera and let you and Robert talk, and I'm gonna see if I can get someone on these screens.
They'll probably be like, Grace again. I just talked to you all day.
Naturally deleted frame, so I look more like the big head.
I can get closer.
Okay.
Let's get intensely close. Okay.
All right. How's that? How are you doing, Grace?
I'm good. Let's get very close.
Isn't that like a different type of program, like up close with XYZ? So
someone asked me the other day if you could like zoom in and out with Restream, and I'm like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
It's called moving your chair. Anyway.
Or having like a nifty remote to be able to zoom. Oh, I forgot to bring that with me. I like to zoom in and out of the camera.
What happened to the show? Where do you guys take in the show?
I
was talking to Wes. I was talking to Wes in Restream reports. I just want you to know that someone did reach out, and I was talking to Wes.
Yes, Wes is located just north of me, actually. So he just joined the company. He's fabulous.
Nice.
Yeah, I know them all. I know them all. So.
I love it.
So if there's anything that you have a problem with, like if it's been asked, it's been answered in our support, it's been answered on our blog, it's just so that is something that we strive to do, is like, and I think once you work with other tech companies, like the other day I needed help with another tool that I was using, and they're like, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. I'm like, 24 hours? I may not even be the same person in 24 hours.
That's I don't know lifetime, right?
Like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about you in 24 hours. They still haven't got back to me. It's been 4 days, but whatever. So I'm a little spoiled, right? And then we're constantly innovating and improving, and we listen to our customers. I mean, like, I think everyone says they listen to their customers, but I mean, I literally, like, they talk to me. So like,
yeah. I mean, the proof is in the NPS scores, and the proof is in how many negative tweets did you get about the company. I've sent a handful. I'm gonna toot my own horn here, but like we send out an email for that live stream with Restream show, the one I was hosting yesterday, right? And they have to have a return email on it, so it's mine. I'm like, that's fine. And so I started getting all these responses in French. I haven't taken French since college, right? But I answered in French. I took it into the Google Translate. I know enough. I was just like, so that's a level of support you can get. It's like, all right, if you can get like me living in Dallas, Texas, like I'll answer you in French. Sure, whatever. Most of the questions were like, is there going to be a replay? And I'm just like, yes, there's going to be a replay. Or there'll be a replay. So But you've got that reach. You've got that global reach. I love that. And Robert, so I'm gonna put you out on Front Street. I don't know if it's true, but you told me it was. I convinced you. I'm taking credit for it. That you signed up for, or you dropped somebody else and you signed up completely with Restream today. Is that correct? Can't we Can we get a little shouts out to that? You know?
Yeah, I'll keep the other competitor nameless but yeah, I mean, it's just that it was like right before the show. I'm like, oh wait, and it happened. And actually, I was speaking to Wes about it. So big thanks to Wes to help get me
set up to Wes. And give
Wes.
Oh
my gosh! High praise to Wes. Okay. You get in the Slack channel right now and tell him we're talking about you. Get on here. So he'd probably be like, "Leave me alone. I'm talking to customers."
So I got this other guy I got to work with.
But yes. I'll be like, "Hey, Wes, you know what I'm paying for premium every year. I'm a customer. Sorry."
So I'll admit that when I made a switch, I was starting to try to transition my assets, and before you know, I'm like, oh wait, I got a show I got to get ready to. So yes, so I do have a Restream, and just getting used to all the, as James would like to say, just getting all used to all the fancy stuff up here. So
you're moving into a new house. You got to go get this bookshelf, and got to go to IKEA to go get this thing. Yeah, I get it.
And the meatballs too. So yeah,
the meatballs. Yeah. The meatballs. Yeah.
Robert,
you gotta move into your. Sir. I gotta move in. You can move into your live streaming house, right? So.
Right. Well, we got a big plate full of meatballs ready for you here. So, but exactly. but no, I mean it's pretty cool. I mean, I enjoy the fact that you have the ability to be able to stream to multi-platforms, and I like that. I think before the earlier incarnation with the Restream, they didn't have the live studio or Restream studio there. So once I heard a lot of changes gone since I last visit, and then before you know it, talk to Wes, and all of a sudden here we are. So.
Yes, Wes better be getting that bonus this year.
I'm going to say, I wonder if I can get a referral bonus for.
Why aren't you in our referral program?
I am. I just never. It's just like all these other programs, right? I don't put those links out there.
Got to put the link. You know what you actually need to do is do a landing page with all of your tech tools that you recommend, and those.
I do have that.
There you go. Put it on there. Put it on there and promote it. That does the best for us.
I mean, he's just on fire. I mean, what can you say? So,
little virtual cam with vMix coming into Restream. So again, those type. I'm using my virtual cam from eCam, so I can do things like this, right? Bring up different overlays. So that just shows the power of the platform, and we love that. So let me ask you along those lines about other tools that you use, tools that you swear by, or that you feel that really make your professional life, maybe even your personal life, just a little bit easier. You know, what do you use to? Let's talk about producing your shows. What do you use in the back end to help you with some of those activities?
Oh, absolutely. Well, you do the show. It's an hour. It's an hour, 45 minutes long, and then what are you going to do with it afterwards, right? So, I like to use a tool called Descript. Right. Mm-hmm. And so it is it produces a transcript. So once you're done with this live stream, you would download the video and then upload it over to Descript, and it generates a full transcript, right? Some of the stuff you have to go through with Grammarly and clean it up, but right there you have a script, and you could distribute that easily as a blog post. But the one thing that I really, really like about it is it's a quick editing tool. So from there you can you can highlight, I always invert words, and I always get numbers wrong. I always just mix up letters and numbers. And so if I'm like, hey, Jeff, my co-host, I'm like, Jeff, I said the wrong thing. And I've trained enough that when I make a mistake, I know to pause and then start over again. Right. And so then he gets a clean edit, and you just basically select it, delete it, and it just chunks that video out. Right. And so then you end up with this video that's just that's easily, that's just easy, that you can edit that easily, right? That probably takes a few minutes, depending on how much I screw up. Right?
Or how much you like to refine things. Or
how much I like to refine things. So I actually used that. I had to put together a video for our sponsorship packages, right? So it's for our influencers to talk about, the program our sponsorship program, and then what we'd expect from that, and what value you'd get out of it, and what we would, expect in return. 4-minute video, right? I'm on live camera all the time. It took me 4 hours to do this video. 4 minutes. 4 minutes because I kept screwing up and I kept saying the wrong thing. So I was like, fine, I'm just going to do it. Right. I ended up with this like 10-minute, 11-minute video. I took it into script and I just chopped out all my mistakes. And then all I could hear was myself breathing.
Well, you gotta live. So
then I had to go through and like cut out all my breathing. So it just sounds like a very, I did put in some pauses so it doesn't sound that manic, but so that was the kind of refinement I was able to do with it. Is it perfect? I'm going to say it is because I want to keep my job, but it was really cool. And so from there, so anyway, you have the script and everything we do to promote the show or create images for the show all start with that script. So then we go through there and we find like the quotes, right? And then you'll highlight the quotes and then you take that into Adobe Premium, right? And come up with a really cool graphic. We'll maybe have the photo of our guest, right? And then brand it with our show branding. And then you've got a little piece of social media content, right? And you could redo that in any size. I also like using a tool called Audiogram from Headliner. And it's Headliner. Really, and it's really cool because it takes that audio and it creates a waveform, creates these animations, creates all this stuff. And so it allows you to take those audio clips so people can just hear like, what was that thing you said? What was that? What was that really smart thing? And it just clips it out. And then you can then use that to promote your content, your company, your business, your own live streams. And then use that to, and then create all sorts of social media content with that. As far as, you talked about this earlier where you can download the audio. I mean, we download the audio. We have like this 15-second intro, a 5-second outro, maybe slap that on the end. And then we distribute it onto Simplecast. That's it. And then my favorite thing, and this says a lot about me, I think, because this is how I express myself. So my favorite thing is to take little audio clips and make GIFs out of them.
I love it. I love it.
Take little things, and then you just upload it to Giphy, and you put like whatever words you want around it, and like I love it. I love seeing it. I love like when I'm searching for something, and like I just can't quite figure out what emotion I am, but I search it up, and then I see one of my friends, and that's a really easy way to brand yourself and to get yourself out there. And so you are, if you were Coca-Cola, you'd have all these like Coca-Cola gifts, right? Like, why not? Right. If you were, you would have your own verbose perspectives gifts where you're just like making faces. Right. So one of our influencers, Stephanie Lou, she does this a ton. And so she was, I asked her a question and then she responded with a gift of her doing this.
Yeah, Stephanie. There you go. Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so funny. And it's so charming and it's so easy. So those are 4 things that are like, if I can do them, anyone can. And it just, it takes less than an hour to do. We also talk about how we download the video, and you could turn it into a webinar. You could turn it into, distribute it through your email campaigns. And so there's a lot of things that you can do. I think, Repurpose.io published something the other day where they said like for a piece of audio content or a piece of like audio, you could generate 27 pieces of micro content with that. And then for video, it was 28. And then there was another thing I was reading said, tallied it at 157 pieces of content. And they took each platform and all the different sizes, all the different things you can put on each platform, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, all of them, right? And you just see it out and you're like, this is amazing, right? So for one 45-minute show, one 1-hour show, you're going to get this you're going to get all of this content that just trickles people in, trickles people out to whatever you want them to do. And it's just a constant cycle. And I think it's just an important for getting people into your funnel, into your sales funnel.
That's, I mean, think about that, right? And again, that's one of the things or part of what we're all looking to do, right? Mm-hmm. Get the message out. Yeah, we've got this one shot. Yeah, we've been online now for 49 minutes, but being able to cut this up into 60-second, 90-second, 30-second, whatever the case may be, shorts or whatever the case may be, and put it out there on different platforms, that allows you to grow your I don't want to say influence, but that allows you to grow your community in different locations. But then you can bring them back to wherever your core hub is, right? So if you're trying to build your community on your blog, your website, you can do that as well with the tags and the links back to that. But just I think the message within what you were just saying is take advantage of the tools that are out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do these things, right? A lot of these are either freemium models or low cost subscriptions, to be honest with you, but you can have a very professional stream and a very professional marketing campaign around your message. So utilize these tools. I see some folks that are in the chat right now that are doing this on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
That are some of the big wigs out there. I was writing down when you were talking about using Giphy, because I'm definitely going to do that. And I know a friend who I follow, Melanie Howe. She uses Giphy a lot, and she uses those capabilities. So I'm sure she would love to hear that piece of the message as well. And Stephanie Liu, she's awesome and amazing. And everything that she touches turns to gold. So you're right.
She convinced me to buy a steam cleaner.
we can talk about that too. No, I'm all about. I'm anal about cleaning the house. I will vacuum every day.
I don't remember the name of it. It's a cute little square. It's a cube. I should figure out the name of it, and then you should put it in You should put an Amazon link on it.
I'll put my Amazon affiliate link.
I can find it for you. Anyway, so she was like steam cleaning. She did a TikTok of her steam cleaning her oven. Now my oven, like I hate cleaning the oven. It was really gross. And so she steam cleans it, and I was like, oh, it was just the most amazing thing, right? And it was just something fun she did, right? She was just sharing what she was doing that Saturday night. And I shared it, and like 10 of my friends were like, what is it? I need it. Right? Where's your friend's Amazon link? Right? And so she then shared her Amazon link, and then I shared it. And I think I hope she made bank, because 10 of my friends were like, I just bought this steam cleaner. Right? And like, this is what I do now. I'm just like, everyone get out of the house. I'm steam cleaning. Like, I need to do this in peace. I need you all out of my house. Right? It was her. And that natural language processing stuff. Right? So
I love it. See,
that's my favorite.
About cleaning, so I've got 2 robots in the house. I've got 2 Roombas, and I've named them after both of my kids.
Really?
Isaiah is upstairs, and Jordan is downstairs. And my wife thinks I'm crazy sometimes when I'm yelling at Isaiah, but I'm yelling at the vacuum, because he's stuck on a cliff or he's stuck on the stairs or whatever. So, but look, I love it. I can actually start the robot right now while we're on the screen.
Do you get text messages from your robot, or
I do.
Like, I'm in distress?
It's so good. I do. That's actually the text that I get. Isaiah is stuck on a cliff and needs help. And, and I posted that on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and I swear my dad and my mom called me. Hey, is the boy all right? And it's okay. It's just a vacuum. It's just
my vacuum cleaner.
Oh man,
that is some next level.
That's it though. That's how crazy I am.
Oh my god! Well, I have my Alexa enabled device in here, and sometimes and both my children have A names, and so sometimes I'll yell at them. I'll be like, name, go do this, right?
What's funny for us, when we got our mom an iPad, and so my brother and I would have to try to reconfigure to make sure that she can get access to her games and do all the basic stuff. But sometimes Siri has a little bit hard time distinguishing our voice. I don't know if it's maybe because we may say the same phrases. So sometimes I'll just say something like, "Hey, what's going on?" And all of a sudden her phone would pick up my voice, thinking that I'm my mom. I'm like, wait a minute, do I sound like her? So it's, I'm almost thinking that they need a hearing aid or something like that. But
I love it.
No, that's so funny. No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm tech support for my parents, and so they were they use their Wi-Fi as an excuse for when they don't want to do something. They'll be like, "Oh, our Wi-Fi's down." I told them, "Please stop complaining about your Wi-Fi, because I set up your Wi-Fi. That makes me look bad. So please don't say that to people. Just be honest and say you don't want to talk to them or you don't want to take their call. Don't tell them the Wi-Fi's bad."
Oh wow.
I love this comment here from a buddy. It says I need the cameras on them. I think he's talking about my robot, so I can go live. And David, next show I do, I will do a behind the scenes of Isaiah and Jordan as they effectively clean the house.
think you need to make some gifts of those robots.
I wouldn't look. I'm going crazy about this. I'm gonna be all in. Me and Canva are about to go crazy with some things that you just talked about. Let me ask you something, because you brought this up, and then Robert, I'll let you kind of close it out. But you talked about Amazon. You talked, and again, that just popped in my head as we were talking about you using the affiliate links. And before we went live, we were talking about Amazon live streaming and Amazon Live, and just taking advantage again of yet another platform. Yes, but there's value, I think, in taking advantage of that platform. Talk to us about that use case that you mentioned to us earlier on.
Oh yeah, so Amazon Live is just like it seems so weird to call Amazon a sleeping giant because it's anything but sleeping, right? It's slowly taking over the world, but Amazon Live is something that we've been hearing a lot about over the last 8 months, but not a lot of people are really aware of. And I really encourage everyone to check it out. We just did a show with on Social Media News Live with Jim Fuse, who does Dealcasters and Dealcasters at Night with Chris Stone. And they are amazing. So definitely, like, they're the ones to talk to about Amazon Live. And it's really just like, when you think about Amazon, you think, oh, I don't do product reviews. And they very much talk about it like a QVC, home shopping network type thing, right? But you don't actually need to sell anything or be a seller to do it. You do have to be part of their influencer program. And then you would have to, it would just be as easy as putting in the items within your little carousel, and then you just go live on there the same way you go live here. You do have to do some transcoding. So, if you call up Restream, they'll get you set up with transcoding, because as of right now, the only way you can go live is to just kind of dumb down the video feed, and for it to go through, my co-host uses his iPad for it because he's the one with the influencer account. And then he just goes live on there, right? And there's comments, there's interactions. And, we do a news show on social media marketing, and we've sold books and iPads, microphones, just whatever else we can think of, just stuff that has to do with our show. Right. And so, And I think there's a lot of different kind of content on there. There is like the product content, and they have, like, you go over there, there's like fitness stuff, there's baby stuff, there's a cooking show, and you could, like, all of those things have a tie into a product. Like, everything we do has a tie into a product, I'm sure, right? But and it's just this very interesting thing, and they've gamified the process in which, just to oversimplify it, the more times you go live, the more places you're going to show up, right? And the more opportunities you get, the more percentages you get, and you do get, an affiliate. You do get a cut of that affiliate link. So I encourage everyone to check it out, try it. Scott Ayers, he does Live Streaming Labs. He does a show every Monday morning on the Restream channel. He's been doing some experiments with Amazon Live, so I would definitely recommend watching that. Is
that the guy with the wig?
Yep, the orange hair. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's Scott, the social media scientist. So
he's been
doing a lot of experiments. So I would check that out to get really, because we can go a whole other hour just talking about Amazon Live, right? So,
but you mentioned something just now, and I don't want to gloss over that. You said you can get transcription through Restream, because I'm looking at the the pricing and what's included with each program, and I don't see
you have
that.
To call. You have to call and get it.
Folks, Grace over here dropping some gems on you right here. This is behind the scenes information. If you want, want some transcription services and you are a member of Restream, just give your boy Wes a call and he'll hook you up.
Yeah, they'll hook it up for you, right? So because like it's something where you just have to you have to. It's the same thing as like going when back in the days of when Periscope was brand new, and you had to do the same thing. You kind of had to dumb down the feed for it because we stream at such a high quality that and it just it has to simplify for Amazon. So I would definitely check that out, and you'll see that, and you'll see as you're shopping in Amazon now that we've talked about it, we've woken that giant. So you'll see as you're looking at products, like where it'll be recommended, there'll be a little video there, and suddenly you're sucked in, right? And there's a lot of different types of shows that work well on there. And I think the more people that know about it, the cooler it is, right? It's just a weird and interesting place to be. And I would get in on it because a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got accepted into the program early. Like I said, I've done one stream on Amazon Live and just haven't done consciously made the time, and I think I need to. And now that you say I can get transcription through Restream, I'm just going to call and say, hey, Grace told me that I can get this. So who else do I need to talk to?
Yep.
No,
They'll probably hook you up with it.
I love it. I love it.
So,
Mr. Lee.
Yes, sir.
It's all you, brother. See, again, I interjected and I provided the color commentary as much as I possibly could. We can keep going forever for an hour. Look, it's all on Restream servers right now. I'm downloading. I got a 256 gig card in my Rodecaster. So look, I can record a whole lot of information right now, but I will be cognizant of your time, sir, since you are all the way on the East Coast right now.
It's all good. I mean, we're all in different zone. I'm on the East Coast. Grace is in Central. You're in the West. So we try to cover all our bases here. So
that's good. We are multifaceted. We are U.S. I love it with the global audience. But I'll let you have the final question, sir.
No, I mean, if anything, I just more of just a general question, like just in terms of final thoughts, Grace. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you like the bring attention to us to all our listeners out here?
Yeah, I want to know like where you came up with the name Verbose Perspectives. I want to know I want to know where that came from.
Let that roll off the tongue a little bit right now.
Verbose Perspectives. Yeah.
It doesn't. All right, Robert.
Well,
it's all you, brother. I'm going to take you full screen because you've got a placard on your wall back there.
Oh, okay. Well, to answer your question, Grace, I do another show with another co-host, Matt Haas, with All Things YouTube, and it's called Verbose Wednesday. I feel like I'm doing the weather right now. Well, the weather front's coming in over here. And James has his program called Perspectives and Focus. And so when we talked about the collaborating, we just naturally we took two shows and just kind of merged them together, and we came up with Verbose Perspectives. So there you go.
I love that. And question for both of you: what do you guys like watching when on like what kind of live videos do you like watching?
Oh, great question,
James.
I like
keep it PG, guys.
Keep pretty good. Okay.
There's a family show. We got to keep this.
It is a family show.
We got to keep this. We got to get that. We got to keep that explicit rating off of.
Yeah, I can't get any strikes or anything. Right. As much as
now you know.
To get linked in line.
Now you know what I edit out of the script.
No, you're hilarious. Oh my God, we got to keep doing this for a long time, Grace. We're gonna bring you back. I focus on again the tenets that I have laid out for Hicks New Media. That is to entertain, enlighten, and educate. Right? So I'm looking for folks that are truly trying to help others. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you're providing information, I'm a technologist by trade. So I'm always looking at enterprise technology, not just consumer technology. So I'm looking at those types of things. I'm looking at sports. I'm looking at political. I'm looking at just sociology. So I'm looking at just topics that really kind of move the needle. And kind of like another topic that we were talking about before we went online, my old boss made the statement of just trying to make a dent in the universe.
Right.
And of course, that old boss being Steve Jobs. And, that's just someone who I looked up to and had the pleasure of actually meeting him in person a couple of times. But so that's what I look forward to. And that's hopefully what I'm striving, on my channel and in my platforms and my mediums, what I'm providing to the audience as well. I really look for constructive feedback. I look for the hard whys. Why are you doing this, James? Why are you providing this type of information? Why is your channel so diverse as opposed to just focused on let's talk about this stream deck, and let's walk through how to set that up. That's dull. I want to have this different type of a conversation. So, right, Grace, you thought we were just going to come and talk about just Restream, setting it up. What does it look like? How do you sign up for free, standard, professional, premium? No, we've gone the gamut and really learned more about you and what drives you as well. So that's my drive. That's my focus. That's what I try to pull out of conversations. And I look for that as well when I'm looking online for different types of content. So
absolutely. What about you, Robert?
Well, it's going to sound kind of, well, then again, I was going to say it's going to sound a little strange, but then again, it's par for the course. But for me, I always enjoyed watching live stream of just folks just talking, kind of like what we're doing right now, whether it's other colleagues that have their own programs. I'll admit, I like to catch an episode now and then with Digital Confetti with Stephanie as a fun show. Yeah, and so anytime I'm able to like watch other creators that we know or people in our space that have programs where you get to really not only learn about what it is that they want to share with the audience, but also get to know them and just having a fun conversation. Wow. And then if it's outside of the live stream, something like produce, it's to that vein, stuff like Hot Ones with Sean Evans or the one on the Comedy Central, I think called like Stir Crazy with Josh Horowitz, where he interviews different celebrities, just how they're managing pandemic, and they just ask like off the wall questions. Those types of conversations where you just got, just more like be yourself, that they wouldn't have the format because everything's changed, just to see them in a different format and just being themselves. That's the kind of content that I geek out about.
Fantastic.
I learned something new about you. Just the fact that you like Hot Ones too. That's pretty good, brother. You just got another check in the cool column right there. just for saying you like Hot Ones. Okay.
Well, I have to have something cool if I'm going to try something that's hot and spicy. Oh man, I don't know how they do it.
That's pretty good. Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh, Grace, look, let me tell you something. We can not say how much we are, and I'll speak for both of us, humbled and just truly thrilled that you took some time to come on, hang out, and talk to us knuckleheads.
I'm honored you asked me.
Thank you. Impart some wisdom and share some knowledge about, again, where you see this industry that we're all involved in. We had some excellent commentary. We had some folks that were chiming in the comments, and I really do feel and I believe that folks learned something either about the industry, about how-tos and the whys and what, right? So, right. What they can do moving forward and some strategies, right? Some of the tools that you mentioned as well, talking about the script. I've heard about it before, but really the description of the script that you gave us really helped kind of solidify some ideas in terms of how I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm definitely going to start making GIFs, just like a madman here in like a day or so. It's going to get annoying, to be honest with you, but I'm going to do a little bit of that. And then the whole Amazon Live, taking advantage of that. I mean, again, just, that's another platform, but it's the platform that really resonates and we should be taking advantage of it. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having me.
Anytime. Where can folks find you besides just like G Duffy at Restream.io? And in terms of now is the time to talk about the social media live. Well, the thing that you do.
Thank you. The thing that I do in my free time, right?
The thing that you do.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Central, my friend, my colleague, my co-host, Jeff C. and I do a show called Social Media News Live, in which we've had some incredible interviews. We talked to, we've had Stephanie Liu on, we've had Jim Fuse, we've had Mark Schaefer talking about his book called Cumulative Advantage. We are going to have Rachel Miller on tomorrow. She's going to talk about social media organic reach, something which we've been told over and over again is dying, but it is not dying. We just have to think about, rethink how we're going to do about it, how we're going to use it, right? How to do it. And then other than that, you can find me over at the Restream channel. We have a whole plethora of shows on everything you need to get started. We have our tutorials. We have, like, if you have a question about gear, we have a show all about gear. We talked a little bit about our prep before going live. There's a show by my friend Ian Anderson Gray that focuses on how to be confident on camera, which is something a lot of people struggle with, right? Like, and he focuses a lot on mindset, on being organized. Stephanie Liu, we've talked about a lot. She does a show on Friday afternoons called Digital Confetti, in which she talks about all those tools that we use, things like the script, and Missing Letter was one that she did last week. And then we also have a show by the digital gal, Amanda Robinson, about about how to use ads. And we just debuted a new show today with Bradley Vincent. Bradley Teaches. You probably...
Is that right? You got Bradley
Yes.
on? Oh,
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So he is
some
doing...
winners for sure.
He is doing a show on how to create graphics. So those overlays, backgrounds, logos,
Cool.
using things like Canva, using things like Photoshop, using things like all sorts of things, right? So Bradley Teaches, so you can catch that every week at 4:30 Central and on the Restream channel. And that's where you can find me. I am always there lurking.
Grace is lurking in the background. Robert, we're going to have Grace back, and so I'm serious. But I think maybe once a quarter or something of that, just have a touch point, because I've moved my back end multi-streaming to Restream. My front end is Ecamm, but what pushes everything out to the different networks is Restream, and I've convinced Robert to do that. Well, I'm taking credit for it, but he did that as of today. So just hearing about what's coming down the pipe, because I think that's relevant, and we wouldn't want you to talk about anything that's NDA, non-disclosable, but obviously talk about the things that are coming, like when folders are coming.
I know, right?
That was that smoke. I don't want. We can end the show now if we want to, but again, we need.
I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of something that we are rolling out. It's rolling out. It should be rolling out next week. We're testing it with our influencers right now. It is animated backgrounds.
Animated, okay.
It's
like
animated
that.
backgrounds,
All
and
right.
so it's like the little backgrounds that you have, like it's all animated. So, and then we're right now we have 4 preset in there that people are testing, and then in the future you'll be able to create your own custom ones using things like, I don't know, Giphy. I was kidding. You'll be able to create your own custom background. So that is the next thing that we are rolling out. And, we have very intense product meetings. We have intense product conversations. So we are constantly innovating, but I am excited about these animated backgrounds.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. I won't ask you for anything else. I want you to get in trouble. I don't want Anya to be like on the phone with you tomorrow, be like, hey, one too many secrets given away. So that being said, Grace, be well. Mr. Lee, take care of yourself. And folks, thank you for joining us again for another episode of Verbose Perspectives. We will talk to you again next month.
Thank you.